Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I am Sahil Komalapati and the title of my talk today is an automated identification of vertex properties from individual vector fields using a Bayesian approach. So to begin with, turbulence is composed of a wide variety of structures and motions that combine to produce the observed macroscale effects. An example can be seen on the bottom left, which shows a snapshot of the Reynolds stress field. This field is composed of hairpin vortex candidates, which are the elemental units that contribute to the production of turbulence. The structure can be seen in the middle with a notable horseshoe-shaped vortex with a head and legs. And finally, we have a 2D projection at the end that shows that the structure is made up of a vortex V and a stagnation point, which is considered as the signature for a hairpin vortex. I will quickly go over how one would identify a hairpin vortex by hand. We begin with the wall normal streamwise velocity field, and when this field is subtracted by a certain velocity Vc star, vortices can be identified by eye by looking for closed circles in the velocity vector. As seen in the red circle, when subtracted by 0.6 times the free stream velocity, circular motions can be observed in the velocity vector field, which are titled as A, B, and C. So these vortices are moving at a convective velocity Vc star. All the other structures which are not convecting at this Vc star are not visible. So in order to identify all the vortices that are present in a single snapshot, we need to go over a range of convective velocities and observe for circles manually at each Vc. This is extremely laborious and it requires the prior knowledge of Vc. So can we automate this process? This brings to the objectives of my work. We wish to identify hairpin signatures and other coherent structures within 2D PIV data without any prior knowledge of VC. And matching vertex models is a high dimensional problem. So we establish a Bayesian framework by using affine invariant Markov chain Monte Carlo samplers using the MC Python model. This is abbreviated as MCMC. These are less sensitive to noise and more scalable to complicated structures. We will initially test this framework's ability to identify vortices, and then we plan to add additional structures like the saddle point in the future. An example of a vortex can be seen in the figure on the right. I will go into detail on how we match the velocity field to a model. We will use the Rankine vortex model for a vortex. It is made up of 5 parameters: the circulation strength, the radius, the center of the vortex, the x and y positions, and the convective velocity. A vortex model with the sample parameters can be seen on the right, and the governing equations for an RVM can be seen on the top. Our goal is to find the optimal set of these 5 parameters that reduce the difference between the RVM and the velocity field at hand. This is the matching process. Unlike traditional optimization tools that return an optimal value, a Bayesian optimization returns a probability density function, a PDF. An example of a PDF of a variable eta is shown on the right. We interpret that the peak of a PDF corresponds to the most likely value of the variable. So in this example, eta is equal to 0 is the most likely value. Here is an example of Bayesian optimization on a single vertex vector field. It gives a plot like the one on the left. It is called as the corner plot of optimization. Since an RVM has 5 parameters, the MCMC returns a corner plot that contains 5 PDFs, which can be observed along the diagonal of the grid. So beginning from the top left corner, we have PDFs for circulation strength, radius, the x position of the center, and so on. Each PDF gives the most likely value for that parameter, so the whole plot essentially reduces to a 5-dimensional vector, which contains 5 values. A sample of extracting a value from PDF is shown in red, corresponding to circulation strength. And it is important to note that the convective velocity is also a byproduct of the Bayesian optimization, which is seen in blue. The other boxes are joint PDFs that convey information about the convergence and the correlation between parameters, which are not really important. To finally sum things up, we begin with a velocity vector field of a vertex candidate that we want to match with an RVM, and we apply MCMC, and from which we get the coordinate plot and extract the vertex property. Now we evaluate how robust this framework is by analyzing the performance against increasing amounts of noise. In particular, we add salt and pepper noise, which can be seen below. Initially, we have a plot for reference, and then we have velocity fields with noise ratios of 0.1 and 0.4 respectively. It is worth mentioning that I have used a mean weighted square difference error denoted by zeta. So the formula for zeta can be seen on the right, on the left. And looking at the plot on the top, it has noise ratios on the x-axis and the zeta values on the y-axis. I have plotted the trends for both minimization for both MCMC, which we have developed, and traditional minimization. I have accomplished traditional minimization by using classical truncated Newton's algorithm. So we can notice that until a noise ratio of about 0.3, both the techniques are in agreement with one another and the errors are pretty low. However, at high noise values, both the techniques diverge, and MCMC appears to be doing slightly better than regular minimization, which can be seen in blue. We observe how badly the observed solutions are deviating from their true values after adding noise. So we test initially on a vortex with a convective velocity, which is 10% of the free stream velocity. And for low noise ratios, the plot shows that the method does well in identifying the convective velocity. The range of the obtained values is well within 10% of the true value. Here, MCMC and the minimization are both in agreement with one another. However, as the noise increases, it can be seen that the convective velocity diverges from the true value, and both the methods are also exhibiting different behavior. Now let's observe how similar trends are in terms of the radius and the circulation strength parameters against adding noise. So for the R plot on the right, we can observe that the true radius is plotted as a black horizontal line, and which shows a 0% error. And as we increase the noise, MCMC solutions in blue remain pretty close to the true values. However, the TNC values completely diverge from the true values, which can be seen in red. Now, if we observe the other plot of circulation strength, we notice that both the MCMC and TNC are performing poorly, and they both diverge from the true solution pretty quickly as we increase noise. So, however, MCMC emerges as a better choice since most solutions are closer to the true value. So far we have tested on synthetic data. Now let's apply MCMC on real PIV data. So we begin with the turbulent boundary layer data, a data set that was used by Williams et al. In 2017. An example snapshot can be seen on the right. The vortex candidates are identified by the gamma function proposed by Grafio. And we can observe the vortex course. We can observe that the vortex course from the gamma function and the vortex candidates are isolated from the gamma function by applying a bounding box around the course. Finally, we iterate over each vortex candidate by applying MCMC and then getting the coordinate plots and extracting the vortex properties. So we've applied MCMC on 50 frames of PIV data at a height of y by delta is equal to 0.3, and 240 candidates were identified, and 73% of them gave converged solutions using MCMC in 18 hours. In some cases, multiple peaks or partial divergence of PDFs may be observed in coordinate plots, which can be easily rectified. However, PDFs sometimes completely diverge, like the one below. This indicates that the bounding box only partially captured the vortex score. This is corrected by iteratively increasing the size of the bounding box 1 pixel at a time, as seen on the right. This is a really effective technique to optimize the size of the bounding box. These are the cumulative properties of all the 177 vertices that have been identified after applying corrections. And so these are results from the 177 vertices that have been converged. So interestingly, like the RPDF shows the range of scales that we have captured at that height. The X and Y PDFs centered around 0 validate the identification procedure. The convective velocity PDF is centered around 0, which tells us that the structures bit about the streamwise mean velocity. And as done in case of synthetic data, let's also observe the errors on PIV data. The error for all the vertex candidates is calculated similarly by using the zeta function, whose formula can be seen below. Box plot can be seen on the right. Here, the x-axis shows the zeta values, and interestingly, MCMC has lower errors in terms of the mean, the median, and the general range when compared against traditional minimization approaches like truncated Newton's algorithm. So to conclude, we successfully present a Bayesian framework to automate multi-scale vertex identification. And this is independent of the knowledge of convective velocity of the structure. MCMC is proven to be robust to the noise than a traditional minimization approach, and cumulative vertex properties match with theoretical expectations. We successfully identify vertices that are too close to one another, and a feedback is included to rectify the size of the bounding box to avoid divergence in solutions. And this automated identification framework can be extended to even higher dimensional coherent structural models. All the Python code that has been written is available on GitHub at this link, and it can be executed with minimal supervision. So these are the references for my talk, and thank you for taking interest in my research, and I hope that you can take advantage of the code that we have written to analyze the properties of your own boundary layer data. And please don't hesitate to reach out to our group for any of the data that we have used or any other help regarding the implementation of